Hi, my name is Grayson. Welcome back to another Funktasy Exclusive Interview. Today, I am here with Boy in Space. Thank you so much for joining today.
Eh,
Woo! So I want to start talking about kind of your early career. So before Boy
Yeah,
in Space, you were actually part of JTR with your brothers. And I think you experienced kind of a different musical career very early on. What did
yeah.
stepping away from that group teach you about your own voice personally and artistically?
Well, I think looking back at it now, and even like the whole journey of JTR was, it was a journey I did with all of my brothers. So it felt very safe, especially as I think I was 17 when we started like rehearsing songs together and like performing. And I mean, it was kind of a safe space for me to kind of learn what it is that I want to do, and that was a very good experience for me. But I also learned pretty quickly that I have opinions about everything, and I think especially if you're like in a group with your brothers, like you have opinions about everything, and I'm the youngest, so you can just guess how many of my opinions got to be like I don't know, fought for or whatever. It was like they had a lot of opinions about everything, and I did too. But I was like, okay, I want to do something creatively where I kind of get to take the lead a little bit, and I don't have to like pass it by. It sounds very egotistical, but it's like without having to be like, is it okay if we do this song? Like, what if we tried something like this? And even when we were playing as a band, I would like start to like kind of dream and fantasize about what that would look like. And I was like, ooh, I think I want to do something a bit moodier, like dare to talk about, JTR was very positive. It was like very everything is perfect and cute. And
Very
I
boy
think I was just
bands.
like a very, very boy band, almost like very 80s of like everything has to be positive.
Right.
Like everything has to be have a positive message, and which, it's not a bad thing, but I think I was just longing for some type of I don't know, like an emotional space where I feel like people can actually connect to it, where it's not just like me selling a great like a positive message, but like selling something that selling sounds so cheap, but making something that feels real and authentic, where people can go like, you know what, this is the music that I'm going to listen to right now because I can actually relate to it.
Right.
And I wrote Drown was the song that kicked off the whole thing. We tried doing Drown with the boy band,
Really?
and it was terrible. It
Yeah,
was just
not
not
sure
good at
that's
all. Like the energy didn't like it never clicked. And then I had that song with me, and I was like, of course it's a Boy in Space song. And yeah.
right. Well, that's actually a perfect segue. I wanted to talk about the meaning of your name. You've kind of described it as these maybe like emotional in between moments, kind of, like heartbreak, or just emotional, kind of deeper topics. Uh, Now that you're kind of further into your career, do you feel like that metaphor is still accurate to you, or do you feel like the meaning of your name has changed?
I think it's always been the meaning behind it has always been like it has a undeep version of it, and like then a deeper like I feel like in the beginning for me it was like I love the energy of it and the feeling of that name. It's like I don't know, it's something about reading a band name or a band title or something. It needs to like inspire something within you. And that was what Boy in Space was from the beginning. Yeah, yeah, I think Boy in
Okay.
Space was just for me it took grabbed my attention.
Mhm.
It's almost like the beginning of a song. It's like a melody that grabs my attention. I'm like, that's cool. And then I kind of make a meaning out of it. And I think Boy in Space in the beginning wasn't really a meaning, but it was drawing my attention towards it. And I like that. And then I guess in my life, how I kind of view it is like Boy in Space. I wanted a creative space where I could create my ideas freely and just maybe do it differently than what I did with the boy band thing. Because the boy band was like, what do people expect from a boy band? How
Right.
does a boy band sound? How should we approach this? How do other boy bands approach this? Which I feel like with Boy in Space, I was like, what is my dream to like what do I want to facilitate? And I think that's the space that I'm the boy in, I guess, that I get to create.
Right. So
It
your
sounds
song,
super deep. It's not that deep. It's honestly, it's a cool ass name.
it is a cool name. I will give you
It's
that.
just a cool alias. Like it's just, hey, I'm Boy in Space.
Hey, it's me. I'm Boy in Space, and I'm up
Yeah, I
there.
sound
Yeah.
like an like astronaut or something.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do with that name too. Like I feel like actual like marketing wise, I feel like that's good. You got a good name there.
That and that's actually been the funny part. We've never done anything space related
No,
because that's
honestly,
where everyone goes. Everyone's like, every meeting I've ever had with someone, they're like, "You should make a music video when you're in space."
we are the boy
I'm
in
like,
space.
maybe, or maybe it's too on the nose. I don't know. It's I'm being drawn back and forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for any space related things from you in the future.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
should.
So I want to talk about your song Cold. It was kind of a breakout success for you in a way. I think it's got
Yeah,
around 90 million streams on Spotify right now, or at least last
yeah.
time I checked, which is crazy. So did that kind of change? Did that change how you trusted your instincts creatively? And did it like create any new pressure for you moving forward into your career?
You know what? I've never had it at that time. I don't know. I was so young and I really believed in those songs so much. Like I truly know that I love them and I had a really good gut feeling because I don't know. I think every musician that makes music, you like kind of try songs with people. And I feel like when I started making songs for Boy in Space, I would get a different reaction. It'd be like if I played Drown, if I played Cold, if I played like all these songs that I ended up releasing, there would be a great initial reaction. And it's also music that landed so well with me. Like Cold, I wrote so quickly and it felt so obvious to me. So I had some sort of confidence going into it because it was like everything just aligned with it, if that makes sense. There was
Mhm.
never like, well, why wouldn't you try this kind of music instead? It was always just like, this is so cool and this is so new, or this is, so I felt very confident releasing it. And then I think that gave me the confidence to just continue making music in that way of like really leaning into what is it that I want to make. With Cold, it was exactly that. Like, what is the song that I would want to hear on Spotify or like on the
Mm.
radio or whatever, wherever you listen to music. But and that just kind of put the stamp on that is what I need to do with Boy in Space. And that is also the thing that gave me the most success. So it's like, okay, this is truly like a good formula. If I create something that I love, like if I don't love what I make, how am I going to convince the rest of the world to love what I'm doing? Like it feels like such an obvious first step, and it kind of became the proof that that is a good process for it all, kind of, which can sometimes maybe have its faults as well. I've definitely released songs that I've loved that other people haven't loved as much. So, but yeah.
Do you feel like listeners kind of understood Cold in the way that you intended it to be understood, or do you think that they kind of connected with it in ways that you wouldn't have expected?
I think it's a funny song in the way of it has it's such an emotional song, but it has that like kind of facade of like trap 808s and like beat, and it's like
Mm.
it has like a cool energy to it. Like when you listen to it, you'd like, I don't know, you want to ride around in like a car with like neon lights, but then it's
Mm.
like literally just a heartbreak story.
Yeah.
So there's I think I like things like that. When I heard it, I heard the trap beat and it was Unheard who produced it. And I got sent that beat and I was like, okay, I like this. How can I make this not feel like what it is? How I remember thinking, how would Chris Martin, like from Coldplay,
Mm.
approach a trap beat? And I think initially Post Malone was definitely one of that I don't know artists that like kind of paved the way for that process of thought because it was like mixing the singing, like emotional singing with the trap beats. But yeah, and I think it became exactly that. It became like a now when I'm playing it on my acoustic guitar, it's just a great pop song. Like you don't need the trap beat for it, but it's a cool combination
Mhm.
because it's truly two worlds colliding, and I think that's why it had all that momentum, and that's why I think it became special. It's like a fusion dish at like a cool restaurant. It's like, wow, I never thought this would work, but it works so well for
Yeah,
some
like
reason.
two things that you wouldn't expect to mix together well, and it just works out perfectly.
Yes,
That's
yes.
awesome. I'm trying to think in my mind now. I'm thinking of Coldplay coming out with like a trap remix of Sparks or
Yeah,
something like that, playing in my
yeah,
mind. Okay, so as your audience kind of is growing and you're releasing more and more music, does it
yeah.
feel riskier at all to be more emotionally open, or does it feel even more important to you now to get these kind of feelings out there?
I think it feels necessary almost.
Mhm.
And I think it feels necessary, especially in the music climate we're in today, where music is becoming just more accessible. And it's like whatever's going on with AI, like I'm not too deep dove into it, but making polished songs that don't mean anything is easy today. Like I could, after this interview, I could make 20 of them in 2 minutes.
Mhm.
But to talk about a personal story that can only be lived, I think that is such, it's going to be the currency of artists. And I think I I was so fortunate that I started like before I started doing this type of music, it's the music that I fell in love with. Like I truly fell in love with the Americana songwriting of like Jackson Brown, for example, or like just storytellers overall, and like Simon and Garfunkel, and it lined up perfectly for me because I don't have to fake it. I don't have to like I almost had like a preparation that I didn't even know I was like needing. So now that I've like gone into this love of songwriting in a different way that isn't, the typical Scandinavian pop songwriting of let's write a super smashy hook and then
Mhm.
cool words that go over it that everyone can relate to. Yeah, yeah, it's different. It's like what can I talk about from my own experience and hopefully that will find its audience. Hopefully there are people out there that can relate to my life story. And yeah, it's such a fun space to be in. It feels very intentional in the best way. It
Right.
feels like I'm doing this. It's not like a brand. This is actually me. These songs are me. Like I think yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's different, but it's the same. Like I do have personal connections to like all of my old music too, because I would always kind of sprinkle little details of my life in it. I just think it's different when you're putting your heart out there, um, and that is scary. But it also makes the reward so much better. Like when I released "Who's Crying When I'm Leaving." I was surprised that so many people could relate to it. And I got some like really beautiful messages about like, hey, I've had to move because I'm studying and I miss my family so much. And this song has like helped me now for the last week. And it's something I don't know. I didn't think it would like connect to me as much as it did. But since it's true for me too, and it's like from a real place, it just means so much more in a sense. And
That's
that's really
actually
cool.
great. That's actually exactly what I wanted to talk to you about next, was that song.
Great.
So I saw that you said that it kind of helped shape the direction of your debut album. I wanted to talk to you and ask kind of what about Who's Crying When I'm Leaving made it the one that you wanted people to hear first?
I think it has it has a vulnerability that sets the tone. It's even in the second verse, I'm talking about being ashamed of who I am. And like when I sent that song to my dad, for example, his first response is like, "Is this how you feel? Are you ashamed? Like, do you feel like a bad son because you're traveling constantly and you're not home?" And it's really at like the core. Sorry, what was the question? I kind of
I
lost my.
was just asking, what about Who's Crying When I'm Leaving made you want to release it as the first
Oh
single on
yeah,
the album?
yeah. It felt right. It had like an energy to it, kind of like Cold, honestly. It has like a tempo and like a drive to it, but it also has so much raw emotion. And like I cried 4 times while writing that song. And I think that's going to translate throughout the music. I hope people when they listen to it, and that's my wish at least, when people receive it, they can feel the vulnerability. And I think it's just a good strong song that also has so much vulnerability in it to start off with. And it is setting a tone. And there's different tones of the album where I'm like, the third single is going to throw people off a little bit because maybe like there's moments of the album where it's not all the same, but I think the core theme is the honesty of this is exactly how I feel. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how people react at like all the different songs.
So kind of looking ahead into 2026, what is it that you're most excited for? Is it releasing more music, performing it live, going on tour, seeing how your fans are connecting with it? What are you looking forward to in the next year?
I feel like I finally have my feet on the ground and I can start to run, which is something I've been waiting for such a long time. I feel like I've been in this like warm up phase for such a long time to get back to who I want to be and who I feel like. And I think that's what I'm really excited about, going out on tour, actually meeting people so the music that I make can become real in a sense. It's so hard to connect to music through numbers and like, oh, this is how many people listen to my song. Like that, it's so hard to see when it's on a paper or like just on like a app. But if you get to meet the people and like see the faces, it becomes so much real, so much more real. And I'm super excited for that. I've always loved that process of life, and I think that's a part of my artistry that I haven't been able to do for multiple different reasons for many years. And I'm just excited to see, after so many years of not doing it, that there's still like a want for me to go out there and play, and that people are really excited about those moments in those rooms where like
Mm.
music kind of gets to have its like magical moment where it's like all the other things are kind of like the build up to that moment. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. And like doing more touring and obviously also having the actual album out. Like that's going to be such a fun feeling, and just seeing how it's going to resonate with people. It's also scary, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I know, I bet.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could tell us about your upcoming album or keeping it under wraps?
Um, there's moments where it's like I'm so vulnerable that it's like even I think I think there's music on that album that is even hard to show for family because it's so personal.
Mm.
And I think that's the key to this album. And that's how like I really feel that it's so real and it has like this magic to it because it is so real, the whole thing. I also have like quite a sensual song, which is weird for me. I've never had that before, where it's like a little bit, I don't know, mature is probably
Hmm.
the word for it. Like I've obviously become older and I feel like I'm growing into a sound as well, which is going to be fun to showcase. There's like there's an energy shift for sure.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not I'm not 22 anymore. I'm
Right.
not in that bracket of life yet. Like I'm definitely more comfortable in my own shoes and I feel comfortable talking about certain things and I know what I want, which I feel comfortable with expressing in these songs. So maybe that's the big reveal. I don't know.
There's the big reveal. All right. Well,
Yeah.
is there anything else that I didn't ask you about today that you want to talk about, either about the single, the album, the tour, anything at all that you want to chat about?
Well, I can just say, it's my artist career and my music career has been like a really long ride for me. And I think that's something I'm very thankful of is I've gone through a lot of things. It's been like a lot of mental struggles, a few like physical as well, with like just times that I've needed to heal from different things. And I feel very strong mentally and I feel very safe where I'm at right now in life. And I'm so excited to kind of not do it all again, but to do it like almost in a new way where I can be more consistent. I think I've always been consistent when it comes to the quality of music I make, but I think I've been waiting to kind of have that consistency when it comes to live shows and also when it comes to just like Instagram or like even like the social platforms, which it's a boring subject, but it's so real. It's like I can't wait to have a consistent relationship with the people that enjoy my music and I'm not chasing millions of followers. I'm just chasing my family. Like it's more of like I really want just a consistency of people that love my music and I don't need the world. I just need the rooms where I'm like invited to show up. And that's enough. And I can't wait to facilitate those rooms and like keep feeding sounds so wrong. But you know what I mean.
Right. No,
Yeah. It
I know
sounds
what
like
you're
I'm talking
saying.
about a monster. Keep feeding the monster. But like feeding the people that like want more music and want more like moments that are like live moments and stuff like that. It's going to be super fun to actually get to do that because it's been such a long time where that hasn't been happening on all sides, and I'm super excited to just be in those spaces, all the spaces,
Be in the spaces, in space,
be the boy in the
in
spaces.
space. There you go. That's the
Yes,
name.
that's a
All
wrap.
right. Um, Actually, real quick, I just thought of something.
Yeah,
10 years from now, where is Boy in Space? If you could do anything at all, be anywhere in your career 10 years from now, what would you want to be doing?
10 years.
Five
I
years
hope
or 10,
5 years, 5
5 to 10.
or 10 years. Okay. I I don't know. Wherever it wants to take me. I think before when I was like starting out, I was like I had these like I'm gonna play in this arena, I'm gonna be here. Like I'm just so thankful that I get to do with music and that I get to have a healthy life. So I wanna be like waking up next to my beautiful family, have a great cup of coffee, make music in whatever capacity that may be, and like play shows and do all the different like avenues that I literally just talked about. Like that is my dream. Maybe I'll have like a little coffee shop somewhere as well. Who knows?
Oh, that's cute. All
Boy
right.
with
Well,
coffee.
the boy in coffee shop, coffee space.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all of the questions that I had for you today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Really appreciate
Of
it.
course.
And yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much.